At Healthcare Partners Medical Group, our mission is to provide the highest quality of healthcare to each and every patient. With 5 locations in Pahrump, we are local doctors you know and trust. We want to thank you for choosing us. Quality care starts here.
News 46 is brought to you by Healthcare Partners. News is also brought to you by Comfort Hospice Care, where we give our patients and their loved ones peace of mind, knowing we provide the highest quality of care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For more information, call 775-751-0349. News 46 is also brought to you by Team Ford Lincoln, the #1 new volume Ford sales leader in Nevada for 5 years running. Team Ford Lincoln, US 95 and Ann Road. TeamFord.com. News is also brought to you by the St. Therese Mission, a future venue for cultural and environmental events near Pahrump. Get involved. Visit us at sttheresemission.com or call 702-507-4172.
Tonight on News 46, a pedestrian is airlifted after being struck by a van last night.
Fire engulfs a mobile home in the desert this morning.
Coffee creamer mushroom clouds fill the sky over Pahrump. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Glenn Evers and Rhonda Van Winkle. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's April 1st, April Fool's Day, 2013. I'm Rick Marshall.
And I'm Julie Hargis for News 46.
A female pedestrian was transported by Mercy Air last night after being struck by a van on Highway 160 near the Saddle West Hotel.
Tonight's accident report is brought to you by Stovall & Associates. Don't expect insurance companies to have your best interest in mind. Stovall & Associates cares. Let us help you if you have been involved in an accident.
It all happened right before 8 p.m. last night when a female pedestrian was struck by a van that was traveling northbound on Highway 160 in front of the Saddle West. The female pedestrian was attempting to cross the street to go to the Saddle West RV park when she was struck. The van appears to be carrying a family that was in the median part of the highway. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, Nye County Sheriff's deputies, and Nevada Highway Patrol all arrived on scene. The female pedestrian was transported via Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue ambulance to the Mercy Air helipad on Calvada and then airlifted to UMC Trauma Center with injuries. Nye County Sheriff's deputies blocked traffic around the accident while the investigation was being conducted by Nevada Highway Patrol. The condition of the pedestrian is unknown at this time. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
Black smoke from a fully engulfed structure fire could be seen for miles around this morning when a mobile home caught fire near Wheeler Pass.
This morning, right before 9 a.m., a structure fire occurred right behind the Pahrump Nugget. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene along with Nye County Sheriff's deputies. Upon arrival, they found a home that was fully engulfed. This home happens to be here in the homeless camp. A passerby did tell News 46 that this home was recently dropped off here and was stripped. News 46 was first to arrive here on scene and was able to spot a person that was walking away from the structure. Nye County Sheriff's deputies were able to make contact with that person to see if, in fact, he had anything to do with the cause of this structure fire. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue were able to extinguish the blaze with no further extensions. Of course, the home was completely destroyed in this fire. There was also an alert that possibly there was ammunition or some kind of explosives inside the structure. It is not known at this point if, in fact, that person did start this fire or how the fire started. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
An alleged shoplifter was apprehended Saturday afternoon hiding underneath a piece of cardboard on Dahlia Street.
In trouble with the law? Call Abracadabra Bail Bonds, and they'll have you out in a
Even with all the cameras that we have in today's society around casinos and inside stores, thieves still apparently attempt to steal items. That's what happened on Saturday afternoon. Walmart security contacted Nye County sheriffs to say that a shoplifter had left their store apparently with a backpack on and left on Dahlia Street behind the store. Nye County sheriff's deputies and detectives surrounded the area to find the shoplifter. One person pointed out that he had just seen him around the area right next to the Salvation Army. Upon search of that area, deputies were unable to find the shoplifter. However, just moments later, Deputy Tibbetts from the Nye County Sheriff's Office picked up a piece of cardboard, and underneath it, the alleged shoplifter from Walmart. He was taken into custody and booked on suspicion of shoplifting. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
After the break, we learn how important our eyes are as health indicators.
Jeepers Creepers. Find out what your peepers could say about your body. Next on Prescription Health.
Join us at the Pahrump Nugget Hotel and Casino with the #1 gaming experience and entertainment. The Pahrump Nugget has the #1 dining experience at Stockman Steakhouse, Golden Harvest Cafe, and the Gold Miners Buffet. Come get your game on at the Pahrump Nugget Hotel and Casino.
News 46 is brought to you by Team Ford Lincoln, the #1 new volume Ford sales leader in Nevada for 5 years running. Team Ford Lincoln, US 95 and Ann Road. TeamFord.com.
They're said to be the window to our soul, but they're also the window to your health. Andrew McIntosh reports on the potentially dangerous conditions doctors can see just by looking into your eyes.
This health tip is brought to you by Humana.
Visit our local office in the Pahrump Valley Junction Shopping Center or call 775-727-0871.
A close look at your eyes could be all doctors need to get a glimpse at some serious problems.
There's a lot of different things that the eyes can do that reflect general health.
Follow along as we take a look at what your eyes are trying to tell you. If they've taken on a yellowish hue, you could be suffering from liver disease like hepatitis or cirrhosis. Yellowish deposits on your lids could mean high cholesterol. A thin gray ring around the cornea can also mean high cholesterol, putting you at a higher risk for heart attack and stroke.
The eyes are really an extension of the brain.
Even eyes that are too white can be a problem.
Because the hemoglobin levels are too low because you've got low iron and you're anemic.
Bulging eyes can run in the family, but they're also a sign of a thyroid problem known as Graves' disease. 3 million Americans have it.
Barbara Bush, for example, had problems with her thyroid eye disease.
Have your eyelids suddenly started drooping? See your doctor right away. It could be an autoimmune disorder or even a brain tumor.
We actually even diagnose diseases like AIDS sometimes. We're the ones that pick up that the patient has changes in the eye.
So getting a regular eye exam is really important, even if you're seeing well.
Helping reveal the health surprises hiding in your eyes. I'm Andrew McIntosh reporting.
Even if you're not having vision problems, the American Academy of Ophthalmology recommends eye exams every 2 to 4 years for those over 40. People over 65 should get screened every year or 2, but get checked out right away if you have any problems with loss of vision, pain, or redness.
An 18-year-old man made his first court appearance this morning on suspicion of driving under the influence after authorities say he rear-ended a van on Interstate 15 that killed 5 Southern California family members and injured 2 others. Gene Soriano of California was being held without bail in the Clark County Detention Center pending the hearing. He was also booked Saturday on charges of failure to decrease speed or use due care and driving without a driver's license. The Clark County Coroner's Office said the 5 victims were 3 men, a woman, and a girl. There were a total of 7 family members inside the van. 2 others were taken to University Medical Center in Las Vegas with non-life-threatening injuries. Soriano's sport utility vehicle struck the van from behind early Saturday, causing both vehicles to roll.
Mushroom, or should we say coffee creamer clouds, and fireballs filled the sky near Highway 372 and Margaret Street Friday afternoon. The crew of a new show that will be airing next month on the National Geographic Channel called Curveball were in town shooting some science experiments.
It's an interesting show about science. I was one of those kind of school geeks that I kind of hid it from the world that I was massively obsessed with science, but grew up in workshops and rebuilding cars and all this kind of stuff. And finally, one day, about 6 months ago, I woke up and said, you know what? I'll admit, I'm a geek. I'm an engineer. I've been sort of designing things that are in shops, and we came up with the concept for the show, which is basically to take science. As people take sort of magic out to the streets, we're taking science out into the streets, which is just unusual and fresh. So we're actually getting regular guys like you or I just to be part of science experiments like the one that's actually in the process of going on behind me, which is a coffee creamer bomb. And if you think back to your physics lessons or your biology lessons or these lessons you were at school, they were really interesting, burning pieces of magnesium using Bunsen burners, all this kind of stuff. It was fascinating times. Physics was a great, or whatever you call it, physics over here, right? Is it called physics? It was a really interesting lesson, but a lot of us aren't allowed to celebrate the fact that we loved it so much. Well, I am. I'm that guy taking to the street and saying, I loved it too. Let's do some of this stuff in the street. Let's do some of this stuff in Pahrump. Because you guys, to be fair, I've got to be honest, you guys are the only people in town, in this particular county, that will allow us to do this, which I really, really appreciate. Clark County, big no from them. Not happening at all. So,
what are we about to see right behind us here? I see that we have some flares going off and some kind of cannon.
Let me tell you what this is. This is a coffee creamer cannon. That's right. Basically what it is, it's demonstrating a very simple scientific principle, which is that things need, this is going to go off behind us in a minute, this is a big explosion, things need oxygen to burn, okay? And it's a very, very fine powder, coffee cream. So what it's actually... Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking
about. Back to Tim.
That was coffee cream.
That was coffee
creamer. Next time you make yourself a cup of coffee, don't blow it too hard. That's what'll happen. How cool is that?
That is so crazy.
That is science right there. There's no need for magic, no need for sort of just twisting people's sleight of hand and this, that, and the other. That is science right there. All you've got there is compressed air, a flame, and coffee creamer. Bang.
Lots and lots of coffee creamer. One of the things that you talked about was, of course, Nye County allowing this to happen. Really quickly, I might add, because usually I have to take out permits and go through a lot of red tape to do this. Of course, you guys got a quick nod okay to do this right here on Ski's property.
The most amazing thing about Nye County is the fact that we were ringing around different counties to find out where we could do it. Skip put us in contact with Ski. Within minutes, it was like, you guys can come here and do it, which we thank you for massively. It's great to find a county in America that will say, come over, let's do it. Let's do something interesting, like what we just saw there. So that's amazing.
Let's talk about your show. On the National Geographic Channel.
From an English production company which makes many programs around the world, and we are basically traveling the world doing science experiments in the street, and just amazing people, amazing myself, amazing you, amazing everybody, like the one we just saw. It's as simple as that. So we're not from the BBC, as all Americans assume when you speak like this, and hello, I'm from the BBC. No, I'm not actually from the BBC. We're from National Geographic Channel here in America.
There you go.
Yes.
So you guys are going to be having a traveling show, and so all different places. Can we see that? Can we watch it on the web, or we can watch the National Geographic Channel? And when's it going to start?
The show starts in 2 months on the National Geographic Channel around the world. It'll go to all the countries, but it's based here in America. This is the homeland. This is where the science starts from. This is where it all emanates from. So we're traveling to begin with the US and taking science to the streets here. Wonderful. So if you want to see it, National Geographic Channel, it's called Curveball.
For more information on Curveball, go to the National Geographic Channel. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
Much more local news after the break. Stay with us.